Alright guys, I told y'all I was thinking about doing it, but I actually went ahead and pulled the plug on this thing the other day. Um, yeah, shout out to Old Darn, shout out to Freedom Inc., who told me to stay away from Dixie Chopper because they're pieces of shit. But yeah, Dixie Chopper BlackHawk, right here, 54-inch cutting deck, right there. Um, that 7 gauge steel, so that's the heavy stuff, commercial grade. Has a bullnose bumper. You got 4 anti-scalping wheels, beefy casters, decent forks, sturdy frame, stainless steel panels on the side, on the fenders. This is a step deck too, so you could just step on it, put your whole weight on there. You could use that step. You could use the deck to get on and off the machine. Comfortable seat. What up, high class white trash? Got a comfortable seat on here with the armrest. Got a big mouth fuel inlet, so you're not spilling it trying to get the gas can angled in a small opening. Big mouth. You got your DC plug right here, 12 volt, so you can charge your phone while you're mowing. You got this cubby space right here. You could put like 3 cheeseburgers in here. 3 cheeseburgers, 1 Big Mac, a small fry, whatever you prefer. You got a cup holder. You see it's a stepped cup holder. So right there, you could put your little 24-ounce drink. Or right here, you could put a 40-ounce or a Big Gulp from 7-Eleven. Shout out to 7-Eleven. Your parking brake right here. Heavy duty 23-inch 4-ply wheels. You can see that the actual wheel right there. Beefy tires. This has a 7-gallon fuel capacity too, so you can cut all day. All right, let me tell you. We got the Kawasaki 24 horsepower FR 730 engine right here. All you got to do to get to the air filter, remove that, twist that off, and you're home. Just pull the cover off. You see that's a brand new air filter for that happy Kawasaki engine right there. It's as easy as that, folks. And you just kind of put that back, but you know, whatever. Machine clean too. I just replaced the choke right here. Right here you got the fuel gauge. It's electronic. It'll tell you how full the tank is right here. Did I mention it's electronic? You got your hour meter, your tach meter, all in this one circle right here. Your throttle, the choke, which I just replaced yesterday. Your PTO switch, power takeoff. Pop that up and you're cutting, baby. Of course, you got your seat belt, but who needs that? We don't wear those around yonder. I just did a full service on this, so yes, that's a Kawasaki oil filter, fresh oil. Has this little doohickey right here. I have no fucking clue what this is. All right, I don't fucking know, but it has hoses running down there. All right, getting to the drivetrain, we have a Parker HTE transmission, 2 of them, 1 for each wheel. They act independent from one another, but you know that because it's a 0 turn. Shout out to Parker. They're not as touchy-feely as the Tough Torques on some of the higher end model John Deere's, the Z-Tracks, but you could tell the difference between these Parker units, wheel, motor, and pump, in the hydro gears. So a lot of people with a 0 turn that they get from like the big box store, they're used to hydro gears. They may have a hydro gear ZT 2100, ZTE 2400. Hydro gear starts getting into the commercial grade transaxles or transmissions or hydrostatic motors, whatever you want to call it, around 3100. So the Toro Titan HD you seen me with, that had the Hydro Gear ZTE 3100 transmissions on it. This has Parker units. There's a difference, but for somebody who's just getting on a zero turn and going, you're probably not going to be able to tell. Nice responsive lap bars on here. And what else we got? We got the rollover protection system, aka ROPS. This doesn't have the likable design like how Toro and Exmark and John Deere have, because it still uses the pin and it has a cotter pin right here on this side, but it is insulated, so it's not hitting this back cage right here. How much? This lawnmower retails for like $9,000. Anyway, so it's rubber insulated. You hear that? So it's not smacking the back cage. But you want to put the ROPS up, it was just like that. And the rollover protection system goes up just like that, just in case you want to heal. And if you start to slide and you roll over, the weight of the machine won't crush you. It's going to stop it. So that's what this ROPS system is, or rollover protection system. That's what that's designed to do. Some people call it a cage, but technically speaking, it's ROPS, which means rollover protection system. You'll see these on commercial grade mowers. What else you got? Moving on to the back, more stainless steel. You see Dixie chopper emboldened the name back here, and of course you got that eagle. Shout out to Dixie chopper, world's fastest lawnmower. And of course you got your 1/4 inch or one, I don't know what size it is, it's not 2 inch, but you got your hitch receiver right there, so you could put lawn and garden attachments to it, like a little cart, little dump cart, or an aerator, or some forks or some rakes. On to this side we got more stainless steel, and that's pretty much it. One of my favorite features of this mower is this. Yeah, I love that. Of course, I feel like manufacturers should put this on their mowers. It should come standard from the manufacturer. Like, that should just be automatically on there. But what that is a chute blocker that acts as a discharge chute. And it's foot operated, so you never have to take your hands off the lap bars when you're mowing. So when you get around the flower beds and you're cutting it close, or when you're getting around mowing around driveways and you say you don't want to sling rocks or grass and debris on people's cars and driveways, what you'll do is with your foot, the heel of your foot will press that down like so, and your toes you'll kick this forward and it'll lock, and that whole chute system will close. That way it's sending all the debris and grass clippings downward and not shooting them outward. Then when you get around from the flower bed or the driveway, you go ahead, open that back up. Now keep in mind, if you're going to block off the chute, and say you have high lift blades, all it's going to do is shoot the grass clippings out in the front of the deck, and you're going to get covered in grass clippings. So that works best with mulching blades, because mulching blades cut like 2 and 3 times and then drop it straight down, and mulching blades don't put out enough vacuum to shoot it out from the front of the deck and cover you in grass clippings. So keep that in mind if you're using like an advanced chute system or a quick chute system or any type of chute blocker. But yeah, this chute blocker comes standard from the factory with this Dixie chopper, and it's called the OCDC system. And I already mentioned we got 4 anti-scalp wheels, and yeah. So that's that. Nice little investment right there. Can I get a job, GB? All right, now that was for the people who might randomly click on this because they're interested in getting a Dixie chopper, they're looking to get one, or they just lawnmower nuts like me and they want to check out the features on it. So now I'm getting into the live stream portion. I feel like I'm gonna do this every time I make a mower, a zero turn, a thumbnail. I'm gonna get right to it. So people who don't want to hear the live stream, they just hear for like the mower shit, they can go ahead check that out, and then they could tap out when I tap out. So that's that. It's a sexy mower. Now, let me tell you about this bitch. Now, when I went to pick it up, I spent several $1,000s on this. Got a good deal, but it had some issues. So the previous owner thought the transmission was fucking up, the left drive transmission, aka the Parker HTE unit. Those are my hawks. They feel aggressed. They sound like seagulls, but they feel aggressed. Somebody microaggression them, and they just been, they just been on the rag ever since. So when I picked it up, what you had to end up doing is when you brought the lap bars in the neutral position and set it in neutral, the machine would turn. So when everything's in neutral, the zero turn is supposed to stop and allow you some gear to go ahead and apply that brake. If you got an integrated brake with your lap bars, shout out to you. I love those, but this one has the traditional style braking system that's independent of the lap bar. So when you bring it to a stop, put it in neutral, the machine will do this shit here. So you'll have to kind of have one lap bar further than the other, and then apply the brake with the lap bars engaged so the engine will cut off, because that's a safety. It'll activate that safety switch and cut the engine off. That way you could park straight. So I get it home. I took the wheel off. I was working on this thing for like 4 hours. Shout out to Freedom Inc. These things are a piece of shit to work on. All right. I get it home. I was on this thing for fucking 4 hours trying to figure out how to adjust the fucking lap bar linkage going to the transmission. What I ended up having to do is remove like 40 fucking fasteners. Look, let me tell you. This wheel off. The machine jacked up on jack stands. There's a panel behind the panel that has a panel on it that you got to take off. And you're blind trying to remove that nut that's on the inside of the unit, which I don't fucking know why they did that. They should have just had a fastener going through it with the threads a part of the actual metal plate, but nah, they wanted to go for the nut and bolt combo. So that's a pain in the fucking ass. You fighting that gas tank, and you can't just remove the gas tank because you got to take the plate off first, because you got to get to the harness. Let me show you. Come here. So I cleaned all this out. You gotta get to the harness that's down in here in this metal plate. Pain in the fucking ass, man. Then once you take that bracket off, you see this bracket attached to that one. There's another one behind here. So then you got to remove the gas tank, but there's the electrical wiring going to here, and it's just, you got to hold it at a real fucked up angle. The adjuster for your lap bars, the rod going from the lap bar to the transmission, all the way down that bitch. So what I ended up having to do, once I got all that taken off, for no fucking reason, because I still couldn't get to it, I pulled the gas tank out, and that gave me Well, it was for a reason, because you can't remove the gas tank without pulling all that bullshit off. And that gave me just enough room to go ahead and get some pliers on there after I, pow, put some heat on that locking nut on the steering linkage rod and loosen that up, and gave me enough leverage to go ahead and turn it so I could twist it. And when you twist to the left, it'll shoot the lap bar. This is the lap bar. It'll shoot the lap bar forward. So that'll give the transmission the command to go ahead when you put it in neutral, to go ahead, this is when you stop. So it matches the wheel. So once I had the ability to adjust the rod, I cut the machine on. I zip tied the seat safety function so I could actually put it in drive without it cutting off. And I monitored the progression of each wheel in neutral. The wheel on the right wasn't spinning. The wheel on the left was going like this. So that's where my problem was. So you already know that. So I just sat there. I turned the rod until that wheel just slowly came to a slow stop. And then eventually it just was right here. I overdid it and that bitch started going backwards. So I turned that bitch again. I pulled in both lap bars. They went at the same speed. Everything was good. Brought it back in reverse. Good. So that was a pain in the ass, but it was worth it. This is a good investment right here. The other thing I knew I was getting into was the choke knob. The knob for the choke, it came off some fucking how. Dude was like, yeah, cuz this shit, yeah, whoop-de-whoop. So I was like, all right. I was like, how the fuck you choke it to start it? He pulled out some locking pliers and was like, right here, cuz. Pulled that bitch up. So that's what you had to do. But as I was doing that, this shit just didn't want to give. That bitch was like stiff. So I went ahead, I went on Amazon and I ordered a universal choke cable, 63-inch. And that bitch was like, yeah, it'll be here tomorrow. So I clicked on that, boom. When it came in, I had that panel off. You got 6 fasteners, 10 millimeter. Had the panel off, disconnected the PTO switch, the tach meter, the hour meter. And it took a nut, because there's a locking nut on the choke. Waka! You gotta lock that bitch loose, and you just gotta hit that bitch. And that bitch will come on, and then you can take that nut and slide it through. Then you gotta go over there to the engine, take an 8 millimeter socket. I put that bitch on the Milwaukee battery operated ratchet, took that bitch off, and then I bent it forward so I can remove it from the tab on the engine for the choke. Pulled that bitch out and pulled it through the panel with the nut following it. Then you gotta put the choke back in the same hole and then put the nut on there so you could thread that in later and then fish it on down in between the gas tank and get it hooked up. Then you gotta cut it to size. So I took some 10 snips, cut it to size, and then I took a pair of pliers, and then you gotta have another pair of pliers to hold it. One to hold it, bend it, hold it, bend it, because it is doing this shit here. Then I hooked it onto the engine like so, and measured the looked at the choke, the black choke, the plastic black choke knob on the actual engine, and made sure it matched what it was doing on the lever for the close position. And I set it just below, just before I contacted it, tightened it down, raised it up, full choke, back in action. So I got all that done yesterday. Yeah, and this shit in top notch. I greased the spindles. This has the greasable spindle, the forks, all that shit greasable. Greasable pulleys, and it's not sealed bearings neither. So yeah, there you go. I don't believe you. Where's the video? If I was into making repair videos again, I probably would have made a repair video on that, because there are no fucking repair videos on this at all. That's why, like Toros, like people feel more comfortable buying Toros, X marks, shit like that from, but you probably need a Dixie chopper to, if you don't feel comfortable enough working on a zero turn, because some of the linkages and how to get to certain things and dealing with the the Parkers or Hydro Gears or whatever you got, that shit could be a daunting task that you can mess up if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, there's no fucking information on this at all. It's like just a black fucking hole. Cause I was YouTubing some shit, but yeah, it wasn't nothing on this. So I fixed the shit myself, and yeah, this shit A1, ready to go. BG, will you be going on vacation this month? Hell no, I'm on vacation. Fuck you mean? I'm in vacation right here in Virginia. I might go to Luray Cavern or some shit like that, or fucking yeah, but nah, hit up Luray, and that's only because I see something out there that I'm trying to pick up on. But yeah, other than that, yeah, this is vacation for me. Would you ever buy another one? Damn right I would. People like it look cool. Damn right. It's no different than a dealer buying another Ford or buying another Cub Cadet. That's what sells. So yeah, you just make sure it's straight before it get to its new home. And I'm a foster parent. Yeah, this isn't for me. Yeah, I rescue equipment, and then I send it to a new home. I'm like, what's the bitch name? Barbara Walters, Barbara Harrison from Wednesday's Child. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I get another one. But would I spend the money to buy this new? Fuck no. Fuck no. These things like $9,000 new. Then you got this just a BlackHawk. Then you got the Dixie Chopper BlackHawk HP. That shit like 13,000. Then you got the Eagle. That's even more money. But nah, I wouldn't spend that much money on a mower. But you got some people that got companies. They got a lawn care. They offer lawn care services, landscaping, and they may have a fleet of these. And they into it. So, for them, it's just a write-off. It's just a business expense that they can write off at the end of the year. Yeah. But me personally, no. Can you imagine how many hours of labor they would have charged to fix this issue with the wheel motor going faster than the other one? They probably would have wanted like 1,000. I can see, and they probably would have put some parts on the list that were unnecessary, because it didn't take no parts to fix that shit. It took like 4 hours of labor, but they probably would have built it. It would have. First of all, let me tell you something. If I took that to the dealer or another dealer that work on like small engine repair or something like that, they would have had it all fucking week, maybe 2 weeks. That shit probably would have been 8 hours on the sheet. And that bitch probably would have been parts that you didn't need, like a link rod, fucking miscellaneous fasteners, a fucking backing plate, a new brake set. Like that shit, they probably would have been like 1,500. Like the small engine, like the dealers you go to get the tractors and stuff, they no different than Ford, Dodge, Chevy, right? They all the fucking same. Cause I had my Hustler Sport that I had, I popped the caster wheel going over a curb. They be bah! All the air came out. So I was like, the fuck? And I had my little air compressor out here, but I couldn't reseat that bead. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just get a new tire for both caster wheels. So I took it to the tire shop, and that's when I found out that the tire shop was like, yo, this tire too fucking small for our machine. And that's when I found out working on those caster tires in the front, harder than working on truck tires. Like you gotta really there's a whole machine you gotta get, and it's still a pain in the ass. So I went ahead and took it to the dealer that sells Kubota and John Deere tractors. They do that type of shit. And they had it. I dropped it off on Wednesday. They didn't call me back for another 2 fucking weeks for just to put the tire on the fucking wheel, the caster wheel. That's why I was like, oh fuck no, this shit wild. I almost invested in that machine to do so, but that shit was like 3,000. I was like, oh fuck no. But yeah, man, it's the same shit. And then when I got it back, I ended up paying $140, and that was just for them to put the, you see them baby tires up front? That's all they did. Take the old ones off and put the new ones on. Like for real, they should have been like, yo, just wait right here. Went in, came out like 20 minutes later. It's like, here you go. But man, it took them niggas 2 weeks. But that's the name of the game. You may have somebody in there pulling a hydro gear, and they not gonna stop that just to put two tires on a fucking caster wheel. So you gonna deal with shit like that. Then they gonna mark it up when they get back to you. They gonna, like, the price just gonna be fucking insane. Santee is quickly transitioning from a bear to a garage. Shout out to Santee's World Bear, man. Any road salt damage on the old undercarriage there? Nah, the undercarriage is good. I went over this thing with a fine tooth comb. Went up under there, checked for any leaks on the wheel motors and the pumps. Yeah, all that. And this shit clean too. I pressure washed it. That's one thing beginners do not do. Don't pressure wash your equipment, because you could chip the paint off of it and do some extra shit. They advise you blow it off. But I know what the fuck I'm doing. I pressure washed it. Shine that bitch up. Made sure the tires had the proper air pressure in them. Made sure the pulleys was good. Took the deck belt off. Made sure that was good. Yeah, that shit ready to roll. Owen Benjamin wants to buy it. He probably don't. As much problems as he was having with his push mower. He's a farmer with 10 acres and a push mower, because the zero turn broke, and it was like a Lowe's zero turn, and really it didn't fucking break. It just needed a fucking oil change, and he was like, oh, I gotta go get all. So he went and got an electric push mower. A farmer buying an electric push mower for his 10 acres. You know, shout out to him, but not Owen Benjamin ain't ready for no shit like this. Yeah, I would advise Owen Benjamin to buy like a little Troy built lawn tractor first, and then graduate to something like this. Like, he should get like a little Troy built or Craftsman lawn tractor, you know. Yeah, like a little Craftsman, 19.5 horsepower Craftsman. You know, he take it real slow, figure that shit out, because he'll lose his shit with something like this. He not Like he'll just drive something like this into the ground, beat it down. It'll need to be rescued. Yeah, he ain't ready for this. Thank God there are no Ram lawnmowers. If there was, I'd buy it. I seen a DeWalt zero turn. I was about to purchase that bit. I might buy it. Y'all hear me talking about it now? I might get that DeWalt and just so when Borp the Dweeb come back on here, I could be like, hey yo, Borp. Yeah, it was popping with the DeWalt zero turn. That shit ugly though. That shit is butt ugly. My goodness. It's funny when they have a finance plan to pay for repair. A lot of people can't, they're not into it. All the mowers I do get, the previous owner has not changed the motor oil. Like that engine is just as black as it wanna be, the oldest filter on there possible. They should have had like 300-400 hours on it. Never had a fucking oil change. Telling like I say a good 80% of people that have zero turns and lawn tractors do not change the fucking oil. And when shit goes south with the engine, they always have the why me look and the help me fix it now face. They don't know shit about maintenance on it. They don't even change the fucking engine air filter. Um, yeah, this shit is ridiculous. Your head covering is smaller than it usually is. Did you get a haircut? Hell yeah. Where you been, white trash? I cut the dreads off. This shit just a cat. This a dread cat. Benjamin was crying. Benjamin was crying all day yesterday about having no money. I gave him good advice. He'd be alright. He'd be alright. He not going to not have money for long. That nigga, you know how many bears he got sending him money? He gonna get some money. Saying you don't have money is a good way to get money when you in a position like on Benjamin. Because then the people watching you, they gonna feel bad for you. It's like a pity party, all while preaching against like victim conscious and being a perpetual victim. That way, that offsets that idea and it lowers people's guards enough so that the people watching can feel bad enough for you to send you money, even though you preach against victim conscious, even though that's what you're using, victim conscious, in order to get into people's pockets. It's an old tactic and it's tried and true. Like this shit has been tested and it proves to be effective. When you sitting up there crying, or you got a tragedy, or you like I checked my bank account, this shit ain't working out, or you crying about because you had to pay taxes. You got an audience like that that's already used to paying you for your lifestyle and funding you. Yeah, you gonna be back. Yeah, when you live off the gratitude of other people, or when you live off donations, it's just certain things that you do in order to maintain that lifestyle, which include when the old people wear thin and weary of your bullshit and realize you just a big man baby, they move on. So then you gotta start doing more interviews. You gotta be on Twitter recruiting. You gotta have other people recruiting. You gotta bring in fresh people, and you gotta touch on topics, and you gotta be the edgy guy because people are still in that. They may be in that left-right paradigm or in the truther sphere paradigm. They not privy to the type of shit that you into or the type of mind games that you play. So they'd be down for it. Like the Muslims will come in and support him because it's like he seems to back Sharia law, this, that, and the third. But it's just like with the Christians, how the Christians came in and supported him after his gay bar hopping days in Hollywood. So the Christians, once you start talking about God and country and whites and being a white enthusiast, you're gonna have those type of white people that's gonna come. They gonna want to support you because they feel like they a minority and their voice isn't being heard in their own country. And they got a guy like that that could talk like that, so they gonna want to throw money at you. And you say nigger, and you adamant about it, so that just to them it's like, oh shit, like this guy is the shit. But then the more you start to watch, you like, yo, cuz don't even really believe what he's saying. It's like he's just saying anything for the right crowd or when they come in. Like he'd be anything to anybody as long as it pulls in the money. So now it's not Christianity, it's Islam. So he's on the Muslim shit, but he won't take steps towards taking the Shahada. That's a profession of the Islamic faith. And he won't take steps towards reading the Quran. And he'll go on the Muslim talk. He'll talk to the Muslims and do interviews with them, but he won't take active steps to cutting out pork from his diet. Stop celebrating heathen holidays like Christmas. Denounce Jesus Christ as God's son. He won't do these things because he's on the fence and he's edging. He's still cultivating that Muslim army. And they just so happy to have somebody on their side that seems to be from another side. It's just like how it's just how Republicans felt about black Republicans moving in. It was like, yo, Republicans were just so fucking happy to have a black Republican speaking up for their side that the whole fucking party sank. And then when you look at the bigger picture, it's like Republicans were just so fucking happy to have any liberal hop in the fence, come on their side, that it sank the whole fucking what they stood for. Now Republicans don't know if they libertarian. They don't know if they supposed to be anarchists. They don't know if they supposed to be center left. They don't know if they supposed to be classic liberal. Republican isn't even a thing no more as a party because that shit been so fucking watered down by fence hoppers, and you people call those guys grifters. And that's all Benjamin does. So there's ways for him to make money. It's gonna happen. Like this shit just common sense. And people like him, they going hone in on that. Once they tap into it, they going to zone in on it until the Muslims, the ox, get them on the stream, and they do what Milo Yiannopoulos, the guy with the bow tie, my Catholic brother, and that woman did to him and try to get him to denounce Jesus Christ as the Son of God. And then he's going to say, oh, I came on this stream, and then he's going to feel attacked, and then he's going to go on a jihad against Islam. And then they're going to have a falling away of his Islamic followers that just joined him. You know, shit, wash, rinse, repeat. But yeah, that's how you do it if you're going to grift. I can't mow all my lawn because of all the cats in the grass. They all over the place, eating rats. Well, if you cut your grass, you wouldn't have as many rats. And moles don't give a fuck though. It'll just be a little mound of you need more foxes. Yeah. Amy Smith has to change the oil. Yeah, she be alright. Some women, so you got a lot of women, they don't give a fuck what they man does for the money. They just know it's money, and they may want to live like that, and they just block out all the shit he doing to get his money. Like, Owen could be a gay porn star and Amy is still, okay, Professor, now I have to go there making my homemade pizzas. You know, she's still going to sound like Matilda from the movie Matilda. Hey, Mrs. Honey, you set the mean principal over there telling the fat kid to eat the cake. You know, as long as she get to live like, some women value a certain lifestyle over their man's morality. That's all. And the kids are just the insurance for that. So once you have a bunch of babies with a nigga, it's like, yeah, the first baby, that's the anchor baby. So now if something were to happen to Owen Benjamin or Amy was to leave him, she's pretty much taking half or all of fucking Beartaria with her. And the Bears are still going to be considered internet people and she ain't going to want to be bothered with them. Pretty much. I don't know though. I feel like Owen may or may not be a Chris Benoit type. Like if Amy really pulls some shit like that and on some shit like yeah, cuz might Chris Benoit some shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. Shout out to them though. Shout out to Amy, Owen Benjamin, and the kids. You know, beautiful family. But Owen Benjamin, he might Chris Benoit some shit because his ego on the line. And after all the shit he talked, last thing he need is having Amy walk out on him. And she might just be there until the kids grow up. And then you see what Owen Benjamin's mother doing with the dad. His mother don't respect his dad. His mother know his dad gay as fuck. Stole money from her retirement plan or whatever, her savings, to pay for gay male prostitutes. And she's still with the nigga. She don't respect him, so it may just be something like that where it's just a comfortable situation. A lot of couples are like that. Yeah, but love or respect don't got nothing to do with it. It's just a woman feeling like she has to start over. That shit can be daunting. Shout out to the word daunting. That is the word of the day. Yeah, but for a woman to start over after living comfortably like that, while her man just runs him up being gay and fingering himself and getting into all types of internet beef, as long as that shit don't come home, she don't give a fuck. He could have a whole family on the other side of the tracks. Remember some of our grandmas? Not mine, but I'm just saying, like everybody know, you know, back in the day, you know, Mr. Johnson had a family on the other side of the fucking tracks. And grandma was cool with the shit. She was like, he provide, he do this, he a good dad to his kids. He get him some sad pussy, more power to him. Some women still got that mindset. So I said white enthusiasts. Yeah, that's how you get a certain crowd. It's all about crowds and demographics. And demographic doesn't necessarily denote the color of one's skin. It could be an ideology between people who consider themselves of the same race, faith, ideology, or political party. So by you saying white enthusiasts and espousing like borderline white supremacist talking points, going there and then reeling it back, keep in mind, I don't believe in none of this shit. I just study shit. And then you say shit like, white people work hard, whoop-de-woo-woo-woo. I'm glad to be white, you know. And then as a white, you don't work and you live off of money sent to you from other whites. It's like you would see yourself as a parasite to your own white race. But as long as you talking that shit that you can tap into other people's minds and their emotions geared toward today's society and all the ailments they feel is wrong with the world and with the country, they gonna turn a blind eye to that and keep sending you money. This shit's psychological. It's a way you could talk to somebody, get in their head, and have them feeling like you their best friend and you on their side. All the while, you have no fucking side. You know? You have no fucking beliefs. You're a ditto. If you don't know who Ditto was a Pokemon that could turn into any Pokemon it was facing. That bitch should turn into a Gyarados, turn back into a Ditto, and then turn into a Pidgeotto and fly the fuck away. Shout out to Ditto. I had a level 59 Ditto when I had the Pokemon Yellow cartridge in the Game Boy Color. So that's why I bring that up. Alright, what we got? I'm behind like shit. I'm gonna get there. Hold on, I'm catching up. I'm not a Hebrew. Shout out to the Hebrews. All women pull that shit eventually. Not all. What's up with you, Watachi? You good? You alright? You straight? Alright now. BG likes to talk smack, but has he ever done tree work with a relative? Nah. Nope. Nah, you right about me, D-Rock. I like to talk smack. That I can't back it up. I can't fight. I set up my backyard to make it look like I work hard. I really don't. Jose and them stacked the wood, and Juan and them cut it, and brought it to the house. Yeah, I ain't shit. I'm just another nigga with a selfie stick in the backyard doing live streams, living off the gratitude and donations of my audience. You know, that's the future. That's the future for men. You know. Okay, what else we got here? What up, little man? Lil man, aka Lil Spring Roll, aka Wonton Soup. What up with you? I'm eating lo mein for lunch. That's what's up. What up with you, Hot Too? AKA little burn pit, little burn pile. And orange chicken. When I was eating Chinese food, I just couldn't stomach orange chicken because it has that glaze on there. Or is that General Tso's chicken? I can't eat neither one. I don't like the texture of the General Tso's chicken. It's just something about that texture that doesn't do it for me. Some like when I eat, I'm naturally a food critic. When I eat something, it's not just about the flavors I'm experiencing that clash with my palate, send endorphins to the brain, the feel-good receptors going off, fucking 4th of July fireworks. I also recognize the texture, and the texture adds to not only the flavor profile, but the overall experience and enjoying what it is I'm eating. So it's just certain things where it may be good, but the texture is wow. The texture is, you know, but people like, it's good, what's wrong with you? And you're just like, nah, this shit, it would be good, but I gotta get this shit a 5. Yeah, yeah, you know. But yeah, shout out to Chinese food. Shout out to wonton soup. Shout out to Peking duck. Peking duck nasty as hell, but it's a nice word to say. Peking duck. You know, you get a visual with that. You know, and it's a nasty dish. But that visual alone makes it worth vocalizing. Like you can think it in your head, but then you just Peking duck. You gonna say it because of that fucking visual. Yeah, I'm all about the experience when it comes to eating. That's why I should be, realistically speaking, I should be a uh, a barbecue competition judge. You're gonna have a hard time getting me to. I'd be like the Chef Gordon Ram. I'd be the Simon Cowell of barbecue judging. Just sitting up there with my little napkin tucked into my shirt, my little judge adorned chair, sitting at the table draped in a fucking cloth, you know, with a plate of ribs in front of me that one of these poor bastards done spent 8 hours preparing for me, and I just bite into it, and I'm like, hey yo, who made this? The poor bastard says me, and I look him dead in the face and say, this shit is butt. Yo, you did this, son? Yo, this shit butt, son. Like your family should disown you for this. And you really sitting there with enough confidence to raise your hand when I ask who made this? I gotta go on you, your offspring, the people before you. You come from a long line of non-barbecuing bastards, don't you, son? Disqualified. Get this shit out of here. Yeah. Oh, I mentioned the Dixie chopper the other day, and look who got one. Yeah, yeah. I've been playing with the idea because I seen it. They a little on the expensive side though, but you can, you know, BG loves everything with white sauce. I don't. What up, God, Guns, and Glory? Start up your damn lawnmower. We want to hear it run. Well, no. So I live in Toronto, so we can access Peking duck at any hour of the day. That's what's up. People still watch Blowing, aka Beck Bear. Yeah, yeah. People always gonna. Yeah, the grift doesn't stop. Um, that's why I believe I coined the term shift grifting. Yeah, the grift doesn't stop. You just gotta shift the grift. Well, you can't call somebody out because they grift in Christianity and think because they lost all their Christian followers that it'll be the end of them. Nah, they just gonna go on and get the Muslims. They gonna edge with Islam, and they gonna you know they gonna edge with folk pagan. They just gonna edge with the political commentaries of today. They just gonna be on the fence with, they just gonna revamp the whole talking about uh the financial banking systems of America to pull in new people, even though you've heard it millions of times. It just, yeah, a grifter never really stops grift. Some do. The ones that do stop, it's like, oh shit, they had to change it. It's like they feel bad. They're human. They're like, I've been called out, shit fucked up, let me disappear. Yeah, but other people, they gonna pull a crop rotation with the audience though. Not with, but the audience. They gonna rotate the audience and here now. Yeah, they're gonna be like here, you know, you know. BG Simon Cowbells is a homosexual. I don't give a fuck what. I don't give a fuck if Simon Cowell is a homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual. I don't give a fuck if he uh if he put the transgender on the Bud Light bottle. He was with the shits when it came to judging, and that's one of the only reasons a lot of people watched American Idol. So he was good at what he did. Um, BG needs to plant some more watermelon. Yeah, we getting ready. The watermelon planting season is fastly approaching. All right, so y'all go ahead, get y'all watermelon seeds and get ready to just bedazzle the ground with them bitches. And just make it rain. Just don't even poke a hole and don't even dig, don't till, don't. They can just go in the backyard with a handful of watermelon seeds, shake them bitches up, and yeah, just yeah, on some Spartan 300 shit. Just whatever pop up, it was meant to be, and that shit gonna be official. Don't do that. You're gonna be wasting seeds. But yeah, you know. And of course, they do like to have plastic down. Watermelons are pretty fancy. They're highly susceptible to disease, more so than say the nightshades like tomatoes, potatoes, and eggplant. And they don't like splashback. So when it rains, that dirt splashing back up on the vine. Yeah, the watermelon, the vine is a creeping vine plant. Yeah, that shit is pretty needy, you know. They don't like excessive moisture, straight disease. No passing go, no forgiveness, no drunk, just straight disease. That's why when you do water, if you don't have an irrigation system set up or something like that, what I typically do is I get the hose or whatever I'm using to water right there in the dirt, the mound. I don't water, make sure no water gets on the vine. I don't give a fuck if the sun out. I don't care if the sun is down. I don't give a fuck if it's light, day, dark, kind of dark, dawn. No, I water the dirt that the plant coming out of. I don't get the plastic wet. I don't get the vine wet. I don't get the watermelon wet. That plastic right there. When it rains, you can't help that, but yeah, that plastic gonna prevent a lot of that splashback, and it's gonna help it dry out, the vine dry out faster by reflecting on the sun. So that's why you see plastic. That's why you still see plastic down yonder. And I had a real good watermelon harvest last year. I didn't record it like I did the year before last, but I was having issues. But I feel like I got it figured out with this past season. The Dreads BG was more wood oriented. I can't do nothing with wood if it ain't seasoned. I still got a wall seasoning, but I got, you know, it's a poor rat that only got one hole. I never had one hole, but certain things just required more attention at a time because other things weren't kicking off. But yeah, it ain't much I can do with the wood I have because all my people that come to me for firewood, they know I got the best. It's going to be seasoned. It's going to be perfectly split between 16, 18 inches. It's ready to burn. None of this, I deliver it and you let it season. You're going to get good cuts, good splits, straight oak. If I feel like I can't deliver that according to my standard, then I'm going to remove myself from the game until I'm able to deliver that. Ain't no sense in getting people up with a half-ass product. That's my reputation and name on the line. So you gotta figure you gotta do something else. You know? But next winter, or not even winter, fall, not even fall. The end of August, yeah, I'm back. You just gotta take care. If you already set the standard high, you don't want to regress. Then those people that been coming to you, they gonna want to go to somebody else because you done fell off. Yeah, you don't regress. You can only make progress on what you've already been doing. So did you know my name is factually accurate? Yeah, everyone knows. I'm just now learning this name on the line concept. I'm a little bit too old to be here and about this now, but I'm starting to respect it. Oakwood is out of season. Oakwood is never out of season. Even right now, barbecue season is upon us. It's always barbecue season for me, but what you'll have is you'll start noticing more and more little barbecue joints in town. Like if you live in near town or in town, or even the city, you know, you're gonna start seeing more and more of them open for longer hours. You may even see the guy out there working the grill. And the goal is to get them contracts, get people locked in to be a supplier. When you're dealing with cooking wood, it doesn't have to season like firewood. It's a little bit, that game is a little bit more forgiving, but it's doable because it's financially lucrative. Because a lot of barbecue spots, if they trust you and they know you deliver a superior product than your competitors, then they're gonna want to fuck with you and lock you in. So that's why before the season even starts, I'm already talking to a lot of the barbecue spots. You know, you got guys in there now cleaning up, making sure, getting shit into shape, whipping their grills into shape for the season to come. Calling people that you pass by a spot and yeah, giving them a call and asking to speak to the person in charge, the manager or whoever, the owner. A lot of these food trucks that be parked, go ahead pop with them. Yeah, this shit don't never stop. It's wood all year round. And I already got that's my wood wall. That's the firewood. The cooking wood all the way over there. And the cooking wood still busting, son. You telling me guys stop barbecuing just because it's winter? Yeah, a lot of people stop barbecuing when winter hits due to infrastructure changes. I don't know if that's the correct word to use, but charcoal isn't as readily available as it is in the summer. The grills have been put away or they just don't have them in the big box stores. People may feel it is more of a hassle getting certain things. Cleaning your grill is a whole nother issue because you got to cut, depending on where you live, you got to cut the water off uh, to the hose outside so your pipes don't freeze and bust. Um, so it'll be little issues like that, you know. This shit keep going all year round. But some people, they just feel like, nah. And then too, there's propaganda. So you're gonna see less and less barbecue or cookout commercials um, in the winter as opposed to say spring, summer, even fall. So a lot of people just are programmed to stop and then start back up in spring. That's when the husband or the dad gonna pull his grill out the clapped out shed or garage. They got all the junk in it, and he gonna fire that bitch up. Got a thing of lighter fluid right there, just You know, put some hot dogs on or something. But yeah, yeah, supply chain change. What up, Wood Floor? BG love big box stores. Yeah, I'm a fan of Lowe's and Home Depot. Let me see. Oh, he should have just parked in the driveway. I got two more questions. I'm gonna get up out of here. Good to see you out and doing live. Still winning. Should build a TikTok up, man. Your style of lives, people would love there. The lives? Hell no, it's shit too long for TikTok. I don't know how to do the TikTok thing. I don't know how to catch the attention span of the younger folk. And I'm really not in. I don't. I'm not really into social media like that neither. I don't. I'm not really into that no more. You're very interactive with your audience. Shit, I don't know how else to be. I don't come on here with an agenda, meaning nothing to talk about. I don't have nothing planned. I don't have fucking PowerPoint presentation lined up. You know, I don't have talking points written down or we're gonna talk about this and then we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. I don't know. So I ain't, you know, people. I just comment on whatever people talking about in the chat. Like I have no reason to live stream, to be honest. I'm not making money. I'm not here to promote something. I'm not here to push an agenda. I'm not here with talking points from the media. I'm just, yeah, I just pop on ideas. Certain people I tap in with be like, what's up? Yeah. You know, it just, you know, you have to have a bunch of followers before you can live stream on TikTok, but you can buy, oh, you can live stream on TikTok? I ain't even know that. I ain't even know you can live stream on, you can live stream everywhere. BG, you had to take your clothes off to be a TikToker. Well, it's a good thing I got a OnlyFans. How long I been live? How long this shit been going? Huh? Who, who me? Fuck out of here, man. You got jokes, huh? Fucking. Yeah, you got jokes. You hear him out there talking and shit. Yeah, all right. I can't think of any jokes right now, but All right, wait till I cut the live off. I'm gonna get with you. He said you was so poor. I rang the doorbell and your mom stuck her head out the window and said ding dong. Yeah, they didn't laugh. That wasn't funny. But you got jokes. Wait till I get off of here. I'm gonna hit your ass with a stick. I, I got you. Yeah, I got 2 more questions, man. What's up? BG, you watch Kingpin yet? No. Have you watched Warrior yet? Yeah, you the neighbor that pulls up randomly to just shoot the shit for a minute or two. Not really. Not if you really out there. Like, I don't like just pulling up talking to people. I'm not a let me come talk to you guy. Hell no. I have to be requested. I gotta be invited. I can't just. I don't like just walking up and talk like expect like when people outside working. I don't bother people. That shit can get annoying. I don't like. You know, like there has to be a reason I'm pulling up. Like I can do that to my neighbors because I bring them fire cooking wood. So I could just pull. I see him outside. I'd be like, wait right there. Pull up with the gator and just drop off some cherry wood or something. That's a reason. That's a purpose. But to just see somebody and just go over there, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. How about the weather? Like, I don't do that type of shit. Goes both ways in rural neighborhoods. Yeah, some people just they because they the neighbor. They know each other. They grew up together. You got some people that grew up around each other and they kids know they kids. They went to school. They had they uncle know they sister cousin married into the family, some shit like that. And they be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I don't do that shit. Even if I'm just a more reserved person. Ain't nothing wrong with being reserved. I'm just not the talkative kind of guy. I just do this shit on live stream because this is how I make a living for myself. But in real life, I don't talk. Hey, I feel like what the fuck are we talking about? Like people just can't. Like it gotta be a point. Like, I hate to bring up Owen Benjamin as an example, but when that nigga had my number, that nigga wanted to talk, son. Cuz was like a teenage girl for real. Like y'all heard the story. I had that nigga would send a wall of text about something going on in it. I'm like, yo, talk to your wife. Fuck are you? Like when you initiate the text, like y'all ever had a man text you? Like just not to be like, yo, you like he know you working on the floor or something. He may hit you like, yo, everything going good? Like it's a purpose to it. But some guys they just don't have a purpose to the reason they're talking to. They just they just and you like, oh, is there a point? Is there a purpose? Do you need help? Is there something I can do? Do you need advice? And it's just like, no, just want to talk. I just didn't grow up like that. But it's a guys are talkative, touchy feely today. I understand. They want to share memes with you and shit. Like you got my number, you send me a bunch of fucking memes. Don't fucking send me memes, please. We want to hear that Kawasaki. Y'all gonna hear the y'all? I might start it up towards the end of the broadcast. Just hold on. I might not though, cause I'm right there. My neighbor is Canadian and a habitual line stepper. Oh yeah, you got a Canadian. Hello there. Hello there. hello there, neighbor. It's like, hey, can you go back over there though? Like I'm just out here, like they'll show up, like you got that type of neighbor that'll just come over only when you're having car problems and you working on something. You working on a Honda Civic and the brake line broke because that bitch was rusty and you just hot. Hello there, neighbor. You're like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck away from me right now, what the fuck do you want? Don't have no solution to the problem you dealing with. Can't help you with shit. They just there. Just that. How's the weather, neighbor? It's like, yo, get the fuck away from me right now, cuz. Owen may want you to impregnate Amy. He's still looking for slaves, allegedly. Yeah, I've been keeping tabs on that shit. He a good boy though. He been keeping himself in line. BG clowning people for reaching out, but spent 3 years talking online. That I'm a hypocrite. I can do that because this is my life and this is what the fuck I do for a livelihood. But just in real life, nah, y'all gotta chill. Like, don't just be pulling up on me when I'm having car trouble. Hello there, neighbor. Want to talk about it? Like, no, I don't. I don't. I don't at all. But that's what you say in your head. The whole time they just sitting there, yeah, and the wife and the kids are already at the Walmart, and you just sitting there like, you know, like they don't get the hint. You got one of those neighbors that just like that part of the brain that tells somebody that somebody else doesn't want to be bothered. They don't have that. That neighbor that doesn't take social cues. Like your body language could be standoffish or just aggravated, like and they just get closer. They're like, absolutely, to the Walmart, and they were out of Tums. So we went and got the Rolaids from Rite Aid. They're like, oh my gosh. Bro, don't try to call me out. Who said that? Don't call me out. A barricade girl says this about that, but he's been doing this. I'm a fucking hypocrite, son. Don't ever in your life call me out on what the fuck it is I do or say I do. I'm a whole half a hypocrite out here in these streets. Yeah, respect it. Respectfully. Back up. BG knows me well enough to tell me I'm a dead son of a bitch. Santy's Earth. You know you a dead son of a bitch. If your life, Santy World Bed, if your life and your life alone depended on me choosing to open more than one barbecue sauce and just leave it on the door of my fridge, you're gonna be a dead, burnt up bitch. Cause I can't live with more than one barbecue sauce open. I can't have all these fucking bottles open, son. Telling you real shit, son. And I'm saying this with love too. You gonna be a dead bitch. Don't worry, I'll make a nice oak wood coffin with a smooth finish on it. It can be stained and treated and all that other shit. I got you. BG, you see my Super Bowl spread? I haven't yet. Did he just admit I'm a hypocrite? Yeah, I'm a hypocrite, Watachi. I'm also a coward, times 33. So yeah, keep that in mind. about it for me. Yeah. Big shout out to Watachi and all the Bears for continuing to tune in. Nah, on some real shit, the Bears, the Bears want me to be their new leader for real. Like they want me, son. It's just I would never call myself Big Bear when I step into that position. So I can't, they would have to and I can't have, a bunch of guys up under me in the hierarchy ladder calling themselves bears neither. That shit is fucking weird. But they want me to come in and change something. Are you done flying the fuck around? The fuck are you doing? A victory lap? The fuck is going on? The fry your fuck out of here. Somebody lost their Doberman. And then he up there looking for his pit bull that ran away. I gotta get up high so I can see it. You ever lost a pit bull? Ain't that a bit? You gotta knock on your neighbor's door. Hey yo, I hate to bother y'all. But have you seen my pit bull? Yeah, the big one. Yeah, the big one that I call Xena. After the warrior princess, looked like it was bred with a brown bear. Yeah, she kind of got out last night. I don't know where the fuck. Y'all seen the bitch? She in heat too. That means she'll bite the shit out of anybody. She'll bite and fuck you at the same time. I just can't find her. That's some ghetto shit right there. It's the bare necessities. Shout out to Baloo. Shout out to Tailspin. I believe it had one season. Then it got canceled or some shit. Tailspin. Baloo flying that dumbass plane around, landing on water, flexing. Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't feel comfortable for another man to call me Big Bear neither. Like just refer to me casually as Big Bear. They be like, oh yeah, that BG, that's Big Bear. Oh yeah, Big Bear said we're growing watermelons this season. Big Bear. Yeah, Big Bear taught me how to do an oil change. I'd be like, yo, hold on, cuz. Wait a minute, chill. Wait, tighten up. Like, what if your wife around? How the fuck do you reconcile that with your family? You just listening to a nigga named Big Bear and your wife like, oh, what you listening to over there? And you like, oh, I'm listening to Big Bear. Like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? It's Big Bear. It's a guy named Big Bear. You just calling another man Big Bear? Like, where do you fall on the like sexual hierarchy or social hierarchy or whatever it is? Like, if you have a Big Bear, that shit is just, yo, that's just too fucking much. Like, yo, you're a man with a family of four. Hold on, fuck that. You're a man you got a family of 3. You got sons. Like, why are you calling the guy Big Bear? Like, you don't feel weird? That means you have been desensitized to the bullshit for far too fucking long. You are desensitized to the bullshit and you just call another man just Big Bear. Like, yeah, that's Big Bear. Like, cuz the only the only acceptable reason for another man to call another man Big Bear is if they in a gang. And in that street gang, there's a line of succession. Big Bear, Tiny Bear, Little Bear, Bigger Bear. And they Hoovers or four tray Hoovers or do 8 deuce Trey G Stone Crip or some shit like that. And then that bear shit, you be like, oh shit, cuz like nah, that's Tiny Bear in the car with the homie and shit. Like, yeah, that's the only way to make that shit sound kinda cool. But just to call a thought leader like Big Bear, like y'all niggas tripping, son. That's how they do it though in gangs. Like and it's kind of the same all throughout the country, from LA, Chicago, on out to the east. You had like Lil Baby Ozark. Then you'll have Tiny Baby Ozark that's under Lil Baby Ozark. Then you'll have Baby Ozark that's under uh 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 Tiny Baby Ozark who is under Lil Baby Ozark. And then Lil Baby Ozark, big homie, will probably be Big Ozark. That's how that shit go. And who put who on, that's the lineup. Like that's how a lot of gangs keep track of who put who on. That's why I said when everybody out here busting with the bear names, that nigga gonna get hit with Rico and all them niggas gonna follow. They gonna connect the dots and be like, we got Big Bear, he's Big Bear. Put that nigga at the top of the chart on their fucking chalkboard and be like, yep, that's him. Just got Little Bear right here. Fucking yeah. Like if you got Louisiana Black Bear and Bowler Bear trafficking cocaine, they gonna connect. You don't think they don't connect? They put them niggas' name on the chart and be like Bear, Machine Bear, Bulletproof Bear, Gun Bear, Buttfinger Bear, Bigger Bear, Islam Bear, Big Bear. Big Bear's at the top. Yeah, they gonna keep tabs on all you niggas. The feds watching. Rico. Like it's certain things. Y'all think this shit a joke too. It's not like if you don't really have to be like as a gang member, like leaving the bear shit as a gang member, they can technically hit you with Rico if say one of your little homies or somebody you put on did some wild shit. They can get all of y'all even though you've been inactive for like 5 fucking years. If that nigga has your street name on his name, if you Big Bear and you put on Tiny Bear, and they coming to get all you niggas. You could be in fucking Fresno with a family of 2 with a responsible job and they show up like arms over your head, you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. And you fucking stink. They can hit you with that shit. Or they could just slap you with the gang injunction. So if you want to have a bear meetup, they can make it to the point where if whoever got bear in their fucking name and they match your alias online with your real name and y'all congregated, straight to jail. Yeah, all bear people got to stay away from other bear people. You can't hang around no known bears. Barricade Garage. Who said that? Cynthia Riddle, get out. BG was called Cupcake in prison. On true shit, I told y'all the story when I went to Job Corps. Right here in Virginia, Old Dominion Job Corps Center. It was a guy named Cupcake. He was from North Carolina. He was from Raleigh. Call that shit Rough Raleigh. He was the best fighter on the whole campus. I bullshit you not. He was a Hoover too. He would bang a Hoover, uh Trey Hoover or some shit from his big homie that left from out that way, came here, set up shop. But cuz to get with you. Cuz didn't lose no fucking fights. It was Bloods that was scared to square up with. Like they ducked all that work. Like I remember some New Jersey niggas got bust in. And you know, in New Jersey, they got the whole Grape Street Crip shit out there. And they came down there and was on some rah-rah shit. And Cupcake squared off with they big homie and punished that nigga, son. It's like, my goodness. But that nigga name was Cupcake. And people called him that. And he was like, people was like, hey, yo, Cupcake, you got a cigarette I can hold real quick? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Like, that shit wasn't nothing. I'm salty because I live at the beach. So. Oh, what up, little baby Ozark? I ain't even see you in here. How you doing? RICO law should apply to government agencies. Ain't it? That shit, that's the only group of people that the RICO doesn't apply to. Keep in mind, the RICO law was invented to take down mafias. So that's when the government, because a lot of mafias, they were ducking the sauce when it came to certain charges, because they could be like, I ain't had nothing to do with that, or I wasn't there at the time. So in order to get all of them, they got the RICO. They was signed in the law, and what is it? Racketeering, infrastructure, Connecticut, Oakwood, or some shit like that. It stands for something like that, something similar. And that way they could get you, they can get the bookkeeper, they can get the guy you paid to do the hit, they can get the guy, they can get if y'all were all seen at a diner or something, y'all at a store, they can get everybody involved, they can get associates, people affiliated. That's just so they can round up everybody and have actual cause to keep people. And when RICO hit, that's when a lot of people started talking, snitching, whoop-de-whoop. And a lot of mob bosses were telling, a lot of lieutenants were telling on the hierarchy, the structure. That's why you see Sammy the Bull interviews on Vlad TV. Like, all these niggas was telling. What's the nigga name? What's the famous dude name? For the Linguini family or some shit. What's this nigga's name? Like the hitman, like that nigga, he was telling all. And then he was just talking, but he's a killer though. So people, they gonna be like, oh, you snitched. The niggas don't want to talk to him like that. But he is snitch. But that nigga kill the fuck out you. That's a deadly combination. When a nigga will tell on you and murder you, how do you beat that? You can't fight that. That nigga will call the cops on you and kill you. That is a deadly combination. The game is rigged. But yeah, that's how that happened. The Iceman. No, it wasn't the Iceman. It's he real faint, like like real mafia. Like when you think of mafia, you think of him. Like New York, Italian. What's the nigga name? The Maserati family? No, that's stupid. The something, he was a famous hitman though. But that nigga told, like he sang like a blue jay in winter. He sang like a blue jay at your windowsill at 3 in the morning. That nigga, he was sing songy too. Richard Kaplinski. Nah, it wasn't Richard Kaplinski. Nah, I know it. It's just it'll come to me after I finish the stream. But nah, he up there. He was up there, and he worked with a prominent mafia family, Fernando Medici. Nah, but shout out to the Medici family though. Did he also go on Oprah? Nah, I don't think he went on Oprah. Nah, what's it? Not Sammy the Bull. What's his name? Moff. Hmm. Saint John the Baptist. Nah. But he was with the shit though. He just um shout out to John the Baptist though. That was the Messiah's cousin. Um, yeah, he was a Nazarite. That means he didn't cut his hair after the book of Numbers, chapter 6. He was a Nazarite. He lived off honey and locusts. He was a wild nigga. He was like Donnie Thornberry. Picture Donnie Thornberry baptizing you. And he had a gruesome death because it was King Herod. It was King Herod's birthday. King Herod's daughter's birthday, and the mom didn't like John the Baptist, but King Herod was on some, nah, if we do that, we can start some shit. But the king's wife put the king on the spot because the king's wife went to the daughter and was like, yeah, it's your birthday, your dad gonna ask you what you want. Just be like, you want John the Baptist's head on a platter. So when the king, in front of all his men, talked to his daughter, like, yeah, what you want? She was like, yeah, I want John the Baptist's head on a fucking platter right fucking now. And the king already gave his word, so it's like, you gonna look weak. And that's what the woman knew. This is how women manipulate men. Even though he didn't like John the Baptist, he knew if he did that shit, like, you had different sets. You had different Jewish sets, gangbanging. You had the Sadducees, the Pharisees. You had the Essenes or Essenes, but they were out yonder for real. But everybody, you ain't wanna. So when the daughter was like, yeah, I want that nigga head on a platter right fucking now, daddy, right now. And he was like, oh shit, man, go ahead, bring me John the Baptist's head. And when John the Baptist got carried away, they chopped off his head. Women are expert manipulators. They have been for a long time. That's why all the sob story, oh, the woman made 33 cents on every dollar a man made. The woman was in the kitchen abused. Women were working in the kitchen since before times passed. Times 33 again. Women were getting results from the kitchen. Women women were running kingdoms from the fucking kitchen. Man, you think that was the king giving the order? Nah, that nigga wife is in his head and he pillow talking. That's a powerful woman. I don't give a fuck what you think a woman role is. It's something about when you got in a lot of kings, they were fucking their wife, but that was their duty. To have an offspring so they could retain their seat on the throne for time to come and have a lineage. But the king be fucking other women, but when it get to his wife had some say so because the bitch, you get the pillow talking, you know how it is, with you and your woman. Yeah, that's how they were. I mean, look at the story of Nimrod. A lot of people hate Nimrod, but they don't know who Semiramis was. People just gonna bash Nimrod, the wickedest man, mighty hunter before Yahweh, blase blah. And you know who Semiramis was? It was said to be his wife in lore. Semiramis was his wife. And then when that nigga died, she just like wanted to, I told y'all the story. Like she started the whole sun worship shit after Nimrod, but Nimrod was dead, and she was like, look, Nimrod has come to me in the form of the sun, and this his baby, I got pregnant by the sun. Then Tammuz grew up. That was supposed to be Nimrod's son, but it probably wasn't. Tammuz grew up. She was like, this is Nimrod reincarnated than my husband. She married Tammuz. And yeah, everybody celebrated by making tea cakes with the tea stamped in them bitches or some shit. Semiramis was wild as fuck, son. And then she wanted to be worshipped as a god. So later, what people liking her to Easter or Estor, however you want to say it, Easter. But yeah, that bitch was out there, son. Like Nimrod was dead. Like Nimrod was dead as fuck. Like, bitch, you speaking on my name, I'm dead. Bitch, don't marry our son. What the fuck going on? Yeah, Nimrod was dead as fuck. Yeah, so she started the sun worship and shit. Please start up your Kawasaki. I might start it up. But yeah, so yeah, women been on that type of time. Like women, they give you the look. If you watch 300, you see how much power King Leonidas' wife had while he was present. So when the guy came, the Persian messenger came to deliver to King Leonidas the message from King Xerxes of Persia, saying these lands will be ours. Before King Leonidas kicked that nigga into the bottomless pit filled with toxic M&Ms, Skittles, and alligators, King Leonidas first looked at his wife. When he was talking that shit, he looked back at his wife, and his wife, that nigga said, ah, bah, right into the fucking hole. Straight like that. Yeah. Straight to the bottom, straight into the bottomless pit. That when you do get to the bottom, even though it's bottomless, it's filled with Skittles that will be banned soon here in America, and alligators, and Tums for some reason. So that's how that happened. But yeah, women be pulling strings. You got a lot of women. They good at being puppeteers. Like it's just like some of the advisors and aides to the king. Like they don't want to be the focal point. They play the background, but they got a voice in the. But like you don't hear them, but they not no Michelle Obama type on some doing interviews and shit. But yeah, they back there. Yeah, they like listen. When you go, you need yeah, like that. Gangs will run at the sound of police sirens and gunshots. That's because the police are the biggest fucking gang. What are you talking about? These are all just gangs. The government got their own sets. Like the gang is the government, but they got subsets within that, and sometimes they beef. Then you got the state. Shout out to the state of Virginia, my favorite fucking state. When I move back to my homeland, Ireland, I'm taking Virginia with me. But then you got the states. You throw that on top of there, and shit gets real convoluted. Do you feel like a sellout cutting your hair, BG? No. R1234 523. Why would I feel like a sellout? I was supposed to cut my hair when I did, and I did that. This shit was only for a time and a time or two, and yeah, it was always meant to be cut. You know, shit ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, but all that shit, this is a gang for real. They just don't use the RICO and apply it to themselves, and they don't refer to themselves as a gang. Like it could be like 5 police in a coffee shop. Nobody will call that a gang, but it could be like 5 of you, and they'd be like the gang. Like anything could be a gang, and anything can't be a gang. This shit is just a loose leaf term that just look the gang. It's a gang. Get them RICO. Get them niggas. But shout out to the police. They even got the family of police a gang. they a gang. You got Yeah, they got the little sticker. I believe it's like a little. It's a fraternal order of police. Yeah, FOP with the star, the pentagram right there, and all that shit a gang. It's just different gangs. Just some people gonna call the Crips and the Hoovers Bloods and BDs, GDs, People Nation folk. They don't call them street gangs. Yeah, but it's just like drug dealers. They won't call a nigga on the corner selling huge, ungodly amounts of marijuana. They're gonna be like a drug dealer. But the nigga selling OxyContin, you know, with the lab coat, yeah, that shit don't apply to him. It's just wordplay, that's all. Magical words. Do you not eat pork because the demon pigs that jumped off the cliff? Nah. I don't eat pork because I mean Leviticus 11:7 helped, but nah, I ain't. You know, nah, I don't eat swine out this way. Won't eat swine or shellfish. Shout out to the Muslims, but they be full of shit. They really love picking and choosing. That's the first thing they'd tell a Christian. They'd be like, your book says not to eat pork. They'd be like, bitch, it also said don't eat crawfish, nigga. But here you are munching on crawdaddies. It's just long as it's not pork, though, right? Muslims eat pussy, too. They eat pussy. Look, the Bible said I'll eat pork. Like, nigga, you got a face full of pussy. Shut the fuck up. Hip. That's what they do. They be in that, bro. They be in there in the penitentiary eating oysters, yelling at niggas not to eat pork. Don't put the pork. We don't eat pork. Sitting there with a mouthful of oysters, all type and all manner of lobster, crab meat. Like, you read? Have you read Leviticus and have you read the whole Leviticus 11? All that shit you eat right there is unclean. No, it's just pork. Pork, the only thing we can't eat because Allah said so. Like shit. Because Allah, they be on one. You're not a real Rasta for cutting your dreads. You're now unclean. I was never a Rasta. Shout out to Rastafari. You know, he lived a good life. You know, became the emperor of Ethiopia, and then got took out by the Derg of Junta, a communist group. And then the communists took over Ethiopia for a time too. Yeah, yeah. They just like they said they ain't kill him. They just put that nigga on house arrest, just like. But niggas, yeah, niggas took him out because they would, But a lot of people they'll discredit Rastafari for not stopping the Rastafarian movement, but Halisa, I say Halisa Lassie, which means power of the Trinity, because his name is Tafari Makonnen. Is just Ras means Duke, and the Amharic language of Ethiopia, so he was Duke Tafari. That's what Ras Tafari means. It just means Duke Tafari, and he became emperor, but. People will say, yeah, he didn't do nothing to stop the spread of Rastafarianism and people from worshiping him. But he did. He didn't do it when he went there, because I would imagine if you were surrounded by like thousands and thousands of people who are fanatical about you, and you might want to move different because you don't really know these people and they just worship you and they just worship you and you just like, you gonna sit there and bust a bubble, or you gonna take a more tactful approach. And when you get back to your home country, Ethiopia, you gonna send a Orthodox Christian priest out there to evangelize the people and get them on the right track. And that's what he did. He sent a prominent Orthodox priest on a mission to Jamaica, and that priest ended up converting a lot of Rastafarians to the Orthodox, to the It's Oriental Orthodox, not to be confused with Greek Orthodox or Eastern Orthodox. They look like Jim Bob and them, and but it's still Orthodox. Yeah, he sent the priest over there and ended up converting a lot of Rastafarians to the Orthodox Christian faith. So even Bob Marley went before he died. He denounced Rastafarianism and was baptized in the Orthodox Christianity or whatever. He died an Orthodox Christian. Bob Marley was a Rastafarian for a time or two, and his wife, who she was also a Rastafarian, but Bob Marley converted to the Orthodox Christian faith before he died. Bitch, what? I'm talking, bitch. You shut the fuck up. Your mama, you egg-headed bitch. You bagel-faced bitch. You upside-down Kool-Aid pitcher-looking bitch. Yeah, so that was his way of telling the people out there, go ahead, get right. Like, go ahead and yeah, I'm not to be worshipped for real. Like, I'm not the Messiah. Selassie was a Freemason. Ali Salah, he probably was a Freemason. I don't know. I'm Greek Orthodox. What's the difference? Well, the difference in Oriental Orthodox, Oriental, a lot of people think means like Asian or Chinese, but the Oriental Orthodox broke away from Catholicism before Eastern Orthodox, the Greek Orthodox fallout in what was it, 1050 or 10, somewhere around there. The Oriental Orthodox, they only recognize 3 councils, but there's 7 in total, I think. The Oriental Orthodox, they recognize the 3 councils, and then when all the people were called back for the other count, that's when the people that became Oriental Orthodox, they was like, nah, we don't accept. It was a discrepancy about the person of Jesus Christ as it pertaineth to the Trinity that was written out for the churches to follow. And this happened before, I believe it was like 600. I'd be wrong as shit, but the main thing is they broke away before the Eastern Orthodox faith. And then too, it was cultural differences. So they went that way, and then later, hundreds of years later, that's when the Catholics had a fallen, the council, and certain Catholics felt like, and then those Catholics felt like they were the true Catholics, and those Catholics were heretics. And these Catholics, they just were like, we're Orthodox Christians, to differentiate between the two, but they're still feel like they're the original church, not the Catholics who claim to be the original church. The Orthodox, Oriental Orthodox Christians broke away before all that shit, before the schism of fucking 1050. So that's one of the big differences. Yeah, and they're autocephalous. It's like the church. It's not who's in it. You got the Ethiopic church. You got the like all the Orthodox, the Oriental Orthodox, Ethiopian Orthodox. Um, there's some European, some lower European Orthodox churches included in the Oriental. I believe it's like 10 of them. It's like 10, like different countries is in the Oriental Orthodox. They're autocephalous and all that shit though. They operate outside of, they are independent from the Greek Orthodox. They got that shit. They doing their own thing. but they're still Orthodox Christians, according to them. Excuse me, BG, can you explain how much YouTube money these lives earned with Tachi and R Intrigue? I don't make no money from my live stream. Excuse me. I do make money from my auto repair videos. If you want to know how much a YouTuber makes, all you gotta do in the Google search bar, whatever search engine you use, type in socialblade.com. I gave y'all the game how many fucking times? Yeah, go type in socialblade.com. Then it's gonna pull some shit up. Then right here you could type in the content creator's name. I believe it spans various platforms too. So like if you want to know how much Mr. Beast makes, it's gonna give you an estimate. But if you go to socialblade.com, type in Mr. Beast in the bar, it's gonna bring up his earnings for each month. A rough estimate. But yeah, I make a couple $100 a month from YouTube because I'm still getting paid on my auto repair videos. I'm Greek Orthodox as well. I never knew this. Cool. Yeah, you should look at it. I just gave you the frame of it. I gave you the chassis, but the little details, because I'm not Orthodox. I don't like the little details on like the dates and stuff. Like you should look into it. Like like what happened with the Oriental Orthodox, why they split, and you know if you already know why the Eastern Orthodox split before. Yeah, all that shit is interesting. I looked it up. What up, Hurricane Sheena? What up with you? BG, you got a B minus grade on Social Blade. That means I'm doing good. How much money does it say I'm making a month if you got that pulled up? How much how much money does my Social Blade say I'm earning monthly? What's the estimate, Lil man? But yeah, so anyway, yeah. This the Dixie chopper, BlackHawk stream. BG say 25 to 395 a month. You guys are very welcome for me telling you about Social Blade too, and finding out how much these niggas on YouTube and other platforms be making. You're fucking welcome. That's the shit that a lot of content creators, they don't want you to know that for real. You know, like if you type in the Steven Crowder YouTube channel or the Mug, whatever the fuck his channel called, or some of these other, that shit going, like if you want to know how much Brian from High Impact Flicks make, all you type in here's the deal, and it's going to bring it, it's going to show you. You got to type it in how it's written too. Just type in here's the deal, and it's going to tell you how much Brian making on YouTube. Yeah, people ain't gonna like me saying that. But yeah, good old Dixie chopper. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass to put that to adjust that linkage going from the lap bar to the gearbox with a Parker HTE unit, the drive wheel right there. But yeah, it's a solid mower. If you looking at getting one new, it's gonna be about $9,000. Used, even used, like if you look on Facebook Marketplace or um, Craigslist, people use. I'm talking about when I say used, I mean it got like 600-700 hours on it. People still want $6,000 and $7,000 for these, so they a pain in the ass to work on. They don't make it easy. I tell you what. But they do have the make it easy for you to get. Just pull that plate out, and you can get to your pulleys and your deck belt. See what happened when I kick this out? See that flap? See how I can close that flap like that and block off that chute? And that's real handy when you mowing around flower beds. Get it bit clean. Oh, the rock cleaned up the engine bay, new filter. Showed y'all that. Let me go get started up. Love being choked. Stainless steel panels. I talked about why it's hard to work on at the beginning of the stream, so you can catch that if you missed it. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this thing put where I'm gonna put it, and I'm out.